It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Good morning, Bose.
Good morning. Good morning, Daisy.
I know your full name is Bose Day. Isn't that true?
Bose Day. It is. Bose Day.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, I noticed you love vowels just like we do in my native language, Rutoro. Yours is Yoruba, right? Your native language, right?
My tribe is Yoruba. From Nigeria.
Okay.
So I'm from the tribe Yoruba.
Yes. And that is your language. Yeah, you use vowels a lot, just like us, Bose Day, Kabagarama, Achi, Chi. So, I always say, so many consonants following each other are difficult for me. I want to put in a vowel here and there. Vowel.
Yes.
Welcome to this special show, Divas That Care. I am Akiki Daisy Kabagarama, and today I have this special guest, Bose Adeagbo from Nigeria, but she's as American as apple pie. As I always tell people, we who migrate here just love it and get this, wherever we are planted, we try to blossom. And so she is here. Yes, indeed. Can you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about yourself, please? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Daisy, for inviting me to your show. I feel very honored to be a part of your show. So thank you. So my full name is Bose Adeagbo. And like Daisy introduced me, I am from Nigeria, from the Yoruba tribe. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, auntie, and also a woman of faith. I'm a social worker. I'm currently the clinical director of Questville Services here in Wichita, Kansas. That's who I am.
Okay, that is wonderful. Yeah, we were chatting earlier. I didn't know you were a social worker like me. Yeah, I started off way back when, in social work. Whatever I do is driven by that, Yes, indeed, the quest to help other people. So tell us more about Questville Services.
Thank you. Questville Services really came about due to my passion and desire to be an agent of change. And after graduating from graduate school from Temple University, I got drawn into child welfare. All the jobs I had after graduation was all in child welfare, and the passion continued to grow. And I would come home every evening and just talk about the wonderful social workers out there, the doctors, the nurses, and all of the things we're all doing together to help the vulnerable children and their family there in the community. And my husband encouraged me, just put down your thoughts on paper. Put down what you want to do. What do you want to do? What else do you want to do? How else do you want to impact those children? And I started writing, and it just did not make sense. But eventually, it started making sense what I wanted to do. And the Lord led us to, open Questville Services, which was created, just on the Christian principles of caring for those in need in our community and the importance of sharing God's love through real and tangible actions. So Questville Services was established in 2018.
Okay. That's wonderful. And what exactly do you provide?
The program really, we provide room, board, educational services, mental health services. We have mentoring. We have, just linking the children to services in the community to help them grow and heal. We focus more on the trauma-informed care. Most of the children that come to our program most of them have been traumatized. So most of our services is geared towards providing them with, how do we heal them? How do we get them, from, the hurt and the pains from the past, and just helping them and preparing them to be successful as they heal.
What excellent work. Are they boys and girls or just girls?
For right now, Questville Services provides services for just girls.
Okay.
So it's
right.
teenage girls from age 12 through 18 years old.
Wonderful, wonderful. Oh, my goodness. That is excellent work. So in your work, what are the factors that cause trauma? The common ones, of course, there are many, some are hidden, but what are the recurring issues that cause trauma and mental health issues to young people in particular?
There are several things that causes trauma to children and to every individual as a whole. Most of the common factors and things we see is child abuse. We see rape cases, physical abuse, homelessness, drug use, human trafficking. The list goes on and on. All of this could traumatize a child or an individual. More impact if it's a child.
My goodness. So what is the capacity of your facility? How many do you have at a time?
Right now, our facility, we currently have 17 beds. We have 17 beds now of the program, and we keep growing. But for right now, we have 17 beds.
Okay. Wow. So I can tell from your bio and from your life in general, you love to care for others. So what do you gain from caring, focusing on others' welfare? What do you gain?
That's a good question. What I gain from focusing on these children is just knowing that, I'm able to impact their lives positively. It's a rewarding feeling for me. It's very rewarding. And, I want to describe it as there's this high feeling at the end of the day when you've been able to work alongside a child, and you've been able to, to help the child accomplish her goals. She's stopped using drugs. She's decided to focus on school. She's attending school every day, and she's meeting her goals and is successful in life. It's just a rush within me, knowing that I accomplished that goal. That's the reward for me, just knowing I accomplished that goal. And also being a woman of faith, I think it also increases in me that this is what God wants me to do. God wants me to be an agent of change. He wants me to be his hand. He wants me to be his voice out there. So that's the reward I get.
Yes. Faith in action. Yes, indeed. Wow. I did write down a couple of, items here as I went through your bio. Yes. Focusing on developing the whole person, Christian principles of care, modeling. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. And I was also going to ask you, how do you manage all that? I'm sure some of the situations you encounter are very, very troubling to you. energy draining. And so how do you cope? What are your sources of strength? I can see your faith, and then you are blessed with a good husband who has supported you and encouraged you. That's wonderful. Where else do you draw your strength?
My strength, and I would always go back to this, Daisy, my strength is drawn, it's my faith. That's where my strength comes from. And also me just knowing that as I care for those children and their families, I need to be able to take care of myself. So I always would create some quiet time for me. Okay. I do have some time set aside where it's boss's time. And that's a time where I sit in a quiet area. I could drive to a quiet park, sit in my car, and just relax and take a deep breath and just meditate and allow God to speak to me, and I have that peace of mind. It doesn't take a lot to, get away from, the busyness and just relax and take a deep breath and tell yourself it is okay. And also, cherish the success you've made. Just sit down and tell yourself, God has allowed me to do this. I think I'm doing a good job. You want to acknowledge that. That's how I do it.
Very good tips, especially for women. Having time, for yourself can be seen as selfishness, and also, commending yourself and saying, I'm doing a good job. God made me for this, and I'm excellent. That can be seen as, blowing your own horn. No, it's not. So those are tips that many women need, because society does say, just run around, and, care for others and not for yourself. And if you say, I'm good at this, I'm wonderful, you're being selfish, right? Am I right?
Yes,
I don't think that's
you're right.
Common, cultures, even here, don't praise yourself. Well, God made you special, so why not? Oh, my goodness. And, of course, you want to support, engage, empower, and all that. I love those tips that you have given and that we are sharing with all people all over the world, not just women, but women in particular, because whichever culture you come from, there is that, the women are behind it in the areas. And so we need to encourage each other. And this is the time, become leaders at every level. Yes, indeed. So how do you identify those children? Who brings them to you? Do you go to the homes? What do you do?
Good question. Questville Services is a qualified residential treatment program, and most of our referrals are through the state of Kansas, Department for Children's and Family Services. We get our referrals from them. They also contract with other agencies within Kansas who identify the needs of those children, and they seek out services, from agencies like ours, to provide the kinds of care that these children need, just depending on the level of care. We are a qualified residential treatment program. It's federal funded, and our program is highly structured. We have the toolkit of support within our program, therapy, individual therapy, family therapy, psychosocial groups, substance abuse services. It's a whole wraparound social services we have for those children and their family.
Okay, that's wonderful. Interagency, cooperation is so key. Yeah. All right. Well, you mentioned something interesting. I mean, all of it is interesting. But he said, we are similar again. Bose and I are similar again. You talk about in your growing up days how you used to visit the blind center, pay attention to the people who are blind, the rejects of the society. I'm sure many people wondered why you were bothering to go and talk to the blind people, And I was a friend of this blind lady in my village. They called her Himbara, meaning the blind lady, until she got baptized and named herself some other name, cute ones, But she was known as Himbara, the blind one. We were such wonderful friends, and many people wondered what I gained from her. But we loved each other, and whenever, and she cultivated great crops. So at her first harvest, guess what? Who got the first meal? It was me. Or it was corn or millet or whatever. She would call me, come, my friend. You have to taste it first. But it is so interesting. So your passion started when you were a child, really, and then grew over time. Yes, it did. It did. Yes, that is so excellent. And there are so many throwaways in society, even today, due to one factor or another. So why did you go to the blind people at a young age?
I think I still wonder till this day why I was drawn to that. It's actually a vocational center for the blind. And I would always walk past the vocational center on my way home from school. And when I get home, I drop my bag. I decided to go. I can't remember exactly how old I was when I started going there, but I would always get in trouble for even going there because I would go and I really enjoyed. I formed a friendship with an older lady and another guy at the blind center, and I would go in almost every day to just go read for them. I would take my books, and they had a library also stocked with books. So I would read, and they enjoyed it when I read to them. And they would beg me to come back the next day, and I would always go back the next day, and my mom would, ask me, why do you go there? Our parents didn't really realize, that the blind people who are not, who cannot see like we can see, really need us. They need that companion. They need us to be there for them and do things for them. So I really was drawn to it, and I went there for a while until we moved from that area of town. But I really enjoyed it.
Yes. And they're human beings, and they have talents, they have gifts. Let me tell you this quickly. Of course, I'm much older than you. I don't know if you've read my book, Where Did My People Go? It is at the Rosalind International place there. Well, this is not advertising. However, this is the reason why I'm sharing. When my grandmother died, you will read her story there, okay? Yeah. She was buried in a certain place, and that place was abandoned. So recently, we reburied her. I decided to rebury her so she would be with the rest of the family. And guess who identified her grave where she was buried? It was the daughter of this blind lady. Of course, the blind lady had passed away many years ago, but the daughter had been there at the funeral. And so she led this whole group and said, I know the place. And no one could find it. It's been, since 1971, there was no stone, there was, and all that. And, oh, my goodness, it was, there was a lot of things going on, and political issues on one level and so on. And this lady led them to the place. So you being spiritual, you know that God works in so many ways. That was the plan a long time ago. And so this daughter of the blind lady is the one who found my grandmother. Isn't that something?
What a story.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
What a story. Yes. And when I went back last year, I went back to Uganda. This lady, is alive. This daughter who found my grandmother. Oh, we embraced, we cried. There was a deeper relationship between us than with any other person.
Oh, wow. You didn't.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
That's
what
awesome.
we saw really comes back in different ways. Some we can't even imagine. Yes. Thank you, Bose, for being with us today at Divas That Care Network. You are wonderful, and you have shared excellent information with us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Is there any other question you'd like me to ask you?
Not that I can think of right now. I guess I just want to, for whoever is listening out there, who wants to get involved in what we're doing, I mean, I can talk a little bit about that and how to get in contact with me to get more information about the program we do.
Yes, please. Yes, that's important because we would love to support that program. Those who are listening, yes, can you share that with us?
Yes. So the listeners, anybody who is wanting to get involved can get involved in our volunteer and mentoring program because, the youth we serve, they all need a positive role model to motivate them and empower them to discover and uncover their hidden talents and, just help them discover their passion in life. Listeners can contact me, go to our website. There's a phone number listed on our website. They can call in and ask more questions on how they can get involved.
Oh, that is wonderful. And what is that website, please?
It's Questville Services.
Oh, that's it? .com.
Yes.
Yes.
Questvilleservices.com.
Yes, and I'm excited because I think I'll come over there and we do some poetry and some drumming and some dancing. I'm ready.
That would be great. That's just a great way to empower the youth. That would be wonderful. I look forward to it, Dr. Daisy. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. We could go on and on and on. You're so interesting. There's so much to offer. Is there any other thing that you would like to add?
I just want to say thank you, and I feel honored to be interviewed by you, and also looking at the website, diva.com. Just read a lot of wonderful stories about, women out there who are empowering the community and just doing great things. So I feel honored to be associated with women of that caliber. So that's awesome. Thank you.
That's wonderful. And we feel the same way, being associated with you and other powerful women out there who are changing the world in their own way. Their own way. Level, wherever in government, whichever country, whichever culture, we salute you all. Thank you. And you have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you so much for having me. Same here, too. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.